Welcome to the Scene Snobs Podcast.
So everybody, it is Tuesday, and I feel okay. Not all right. I wish I did feel all right, though, because an idol of mine in the film industry, a giant, and in my opinion, one of the greatest producers of all time, passed away. He is the reason I got into producing. I read his books. I've studied his interviews, and he was truly fantastic. Now, a lot of people loved him for the amazing B movies he was putting out, and he really was for many, many, many years. And I love them too. But what Roger Corman meant to me personally was the producing. It was a dream of mine to get in and do this and be a part of it. And he was somebody I found, and it became like it just was my calling. I was like, as soon as I realized what producing was from him and learning from him, I was like, I want to do this. This is it. And I never had the chance to meet the man. I always wanted to. I always wish we could have worked together. I've met a lot of people that came from his university, the Roger Corman University. I've talked to them all. I try to learn from them. But he sadly passed away. He was 98 years old. He led such an amazingly full life. Left us with a legacy of movies that are going to be timeless, and they're going to stick with us forever. And it's a little ironic because I will tell you, I picked tonight's topic for the fact that I have some wonderful guests that are going to be on the show that cover amazing movies from the 80s and 90s. That's right, the VHS Club Podcast. If you're not following them, you should be. So I do want to say that I picked this topic of our movies less rewatchable today. Now, there's going to be a lot of talk about this, and I am not going to take this over, but I'm going to say Roger Corman's movies, a lot of them, for what they were, are always going to be rewatchable for me, and because it's a testament to who that man was and what he made. So I miss you, Roger. Rest in peace. Thank you for all the amazing movies, and thank you for inspiring me to lead a world in filmmaking, lead into a world of filmmaking, and I truly appreciate you. With that being said, I do want to let you guys know, Thursday, Trevor and I from Ambassador Media are going to be teaming up, and we will have an episode out which will be a tribute to Roger Corman, and I hope you guys can join that and hang out with us, because it's going to be a really good time, and I'm excited for it. So with that being said, make sure Thursday, check that out. We also have a horror conversations and all that. Thank you so much for listening to me. I'm going to bring my buddy, producer Paul, in real quick. And hey, Paul, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, Mick. I'm going to try to cheer you up tonight. That's my goal.
I'll tell you what, listen, I'm not trying to be crass, but the man was 98 years old. I have to... there's some things I have to compartmentalize a little bit, but and for the fact that he was 98 years old and he left us decades and decades worth of work and inspiration, it means a lot. So, but yeah, it's sad, but I'm glad I was able to do that.
And at least you're paying tribute and honor on Thursday, which I think will be amazing. So I do hope everyone tunes in. And
absolutely.
Just to reiterate what you said too, you guys make sure to check out the VHS Club, because I've been listening to them a lot the past 4 or 5 days. They're hilarious. They're informative. They're just easy listening. They don't make you feel dumb for not knowing certain facts about movies, and they definitely have pointed out a lot of facts that I had no idea about as a movie lover. So
I know you're referring to me.
Yeah, of course. Sorry. I mean, not the VHS Club. I mean,
don't be dumb, Paul.
It's actually done.
Don't be done. All right. Before we bring them on, because I do want to talk to them and get started. We have, of course, a segment that's been coming up, and I want to share it with you. So some people often, reach out to me. They want me to fix their jokes. They're like, hey, I have this joke. They send it to me, and I was like, do you think it's funny? And I'm not saying I'm any type of funny joke man or anything. I don't know why they're doing it. It's just randomly happening. So I was like, all right, I'll take a stab at it. Right. Well, little Jordy, let me get his name right. Little Jordy Berenstein wrote, the guy behind the famous dress meme, is it black or blue or white or gold, is in trouble for assaulting his wife. And his punchline is, police are having a hard time figuring out whether he choked or strangled her. Too violent, first of all. Too harsh. You got to be funny.
Yeah.
Make it funny. Right? You got to add back to the joke. That doesn't add to the joke. Mm-hmm. So I told little Jordy that a better punchline would be, and I'm going to start from the beginning. The guy behind the famous dress meme, is it black or blue or white or gold, is in trouble for assaulting his wife. Police are having a hard time finding bruises because she's covered head to toe in gold. What do you think?
What
do you think?
I like it. It's not too off color.
Yeah, you don't want to be too bad. Right. And I'm not saying that's a great joke. All right. No violence against anyone, especially. But You're going to
It goes
send me
back.
a joke. I'm going to fix it, Jordy.
There you
No,
go.
little Jordy's 8 years old and he's probably tucked in bed. I don't know why he came
Aw.
up with that. No, he's not. He's like 48.
Oh. I was like, oh, it's a little.
He's a
8-year-old
maniac.
tattoo.
He's a
That's cool.
maniac, I told you. But listen, we've taken long enough. I do want to say hello to the people watching. Thank you guys for joining in tonight. Let's get our amazing guests so they can scold me for that joke, and I don't mind it. So please do. I'm going to bring in Katie and Nat. Hopefully, we're going to have them on a lot more and have a fun time. I didn't make a good first impression by making it wasn't my joke.
Read the room, little Jordy. Read the room.
Did you not see? I put it on all the title cards.
Paul's reaction was pretty epic. We were just like,
Well, I knew mine was funnier as soon as I saw Paul's face.
yeah, Paul really sold that joke, actually. I think Paul really did that.
I got you, Jordy.
Little Jordy, you're welcome. You learned something today. Ladies, welcome to the show, the VHS Club Podcast. We have Katie and Nat here. Thank you so much for being a part of this.
Oh my gosh, it's so fun. It's just been like a joy getting to be on other people's shows and chatting about movies. There's no more fun.
And we were on Jeff Dwoskin's Crossing the Streams podcast, I guess about a month ago now.
Yeah.
And we met, and you guys just had such a great energy and so knowledgeable about movies. It's funny because every time I go on Jeff's show, I mean, knowledgeable about. No, I'm just kidding. I love you if you're watching. But no, it's always a great time, and I wanted to get you guys on the show. You cover primarily 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Come on, that's prime time for me.
Yeah.
I don't know about everybody else, but
Are there other movies? I feel like there's no other movies.
and that's our point tonight.
I have to say, both on topic and to address Roger Corman, one of the movies that I grew up watching, which was completely inappropriate for kids to watch, but also really funny, was Death Race 2000. And still to this day, driving in the car every once in a while, when you see somebody doing something epically stupid on the road, I'm like, 200 points. It's,
I love that poll. Oh my god, the scene when the three guys are trying to get out of the sewer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or when they're going through the old folks' home, like, every time I drive, if I see somebody at a crosswalk with a walker, I'm like, oh, so many points.
what was Stallone's name in that? Was it Tommy Two Guns or something like that?
Oh,
I don't remember. I don't
Gosh,
remember.
I definitely have seen it, but I feel like it's been so long that I only remember points and I don't remember anything past that. I remember like the references about it, not the actual movie itself.
Like, it was Stallone's first pants on acting job. Is that accurate?
It was.
Yeah.
It came after with Kitty and somebody's.
I mean, did he
A
have his
party
pants on this
thing?
whole movie? No,
I forgot the name of
don't
it. It's
think
Kitty and
so.
somebody go to a party or something like that. That's the porn he did. I know that.
Yeah.
I don't, but yeah. So it leads well. Roger Corman gave him a good career.
He did. He also did Little Shop of Horrors
Yes.
with Jack Nicholson. Who,
the best.
like, at the youngest age, you're like, wow, he's deranged. Today, you're like, he's still deranged.
Still
Yeah.
deranged. Yeah. Such a
Never
good
100%.
movie.
Like,
Oh.
That
how
was his first movie,
much
too.
acting did he do? Yeah. Look, see, launching careers. Epic, man.
That was a good one. And Dick Miller was really young in that one too. And anybody who doesn't know Dick Miller, you better go look him up because he was the man.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, we'll be right back. We're just gonna go rewatch that one.
He was the old man. Most people remember him. He was the old man in Gremlins, who knew about the Gremlins.
Okay.
He was that face that just popped up everywhere. Great character actor, and he was fantastic. Did a lot of like Roger Corman back in the day. But we're talking 80s and 90s. And I was watching your show. I was watching Dirty Dancing right before this because I wanted to like bone up. Oh, it was great. It was a great show. And I want to, and I think I told you guys this off air, but I want to say it on camera for anybody who's watching. The thing I love about your show is the chemistry is great, the energy is great, and I found myself when I listen to your episodes, I'm talking with you. Like I feel like I'm having a conversation with you. And that is a sign of great podcasters.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I have such a good time. I'm sitting there listening to Dirty Dancing. I'm like, I didn't know that she picked the music for that. And I'm like it's like new stuff. And so like even then, like we were talking about, you don't need to have all of that, and you still do. So that's very cool.
It's a lot of fun. We really enjoy doing it.
We're in it just to chat. Like, I mean, we were having these chats every week anyways about like what movie we were going to watch. And Katie was like, we're going to make a podcast about just us doing what we normally do. I'm like, all right.
It's so freeing because my day job is all like video production and podcasting. And so I'm constantly sort of teaching people how to podcast. And so it's really freeing to be like, no holds bar on this one. Like we're not trying to like take over the world. We're literally just having fun and like playing with it. So it's sort of nice to like set down all of the like really big lofty goals that like everyone else has for podcasting. We're like, well, if we have like 10 people that show up and are excited and having fun, it's a win. We're winning just to spend time together. So the rest of it is kind of like all good.
Yeah.
And it's the fun stuff too. That's
Exactly.
the best part.
Exactly.
Now, going back, I did see your first episode. I haven't listened to it yet, but I want to watch and listen. But your first episode, near and dear to my heart, because I'm all about saying "damn the man."
Save the Empire.
You gotta watch Empire Records, which I just watched recently for Rex Manning Day, which we celebrate here on the Scene Snobs.
Yes.
Same. We celebrate it as part of our lives. So
we love it. Yeah, absolutely. I love that movie. So like that being your first one, I want to ask, how do you choose what movies and when are going to come out?
Emotionally,
yeah. Yeah, with very limited feedback. So it's when we first started the show, we were like, well, we're literally just in it for us. Like this is just for us to spend time together, and whoever shows up, great. And so it started with a list that Nat had put together where she was like, oh, I've got this. Like I've built a list. And of course, in Nat style, the list is like, hundreds deep to start.
And makes no sense.
And makes no sense.
I listed it off of like, hey, Katie and I, our favorite movie that we can quote end to end is Empire Records.
Yep.
So we're starting there. And I'm like, oh, Empire Records makes me think of Liv Tyler, which makes me think of Armageddon. That's on the list. And then I'm like, chronologically very high fidelity style is how the list was made.
Yeah.
It's nothing wrong with that. I love that poll.
And then the list definitely evolved because so the format of our show, actually similar to yours, is that we live record all of our episodes on YouTube. And so we have now this like incredible studio audience that come and hang out with us during our live recording. So now the last like 10 minutes of every episode, we're like, all right, like we're thinking this for next episode. What are you thinking? And sometimes they'll overrule us or they'll suggest something that we didn't even think of. And recently, we jokingly now call them our tater tots because we rate in potatoes, which is weird, but that's us. And so Kathy.
No, it's not weird.
It's fantastic.
And it's to you guys, and that's awesome.
So shout out to Kathy, because Kathy was like, we need to do Fame. And we're like, all right, we're in. And then it evolved into, well, now we need to do 80s dance movies. So this is why we ended with Dirty Dancing. And we only did 4. There's a preposterous amount of 80s dance movies, but
I'm now thinking another one in our next run. We're doing like Slumber Party is our next theme, so like all sort of like girly teen fun like slumber party movies, and I'm squeaking in another dance movie.
Perfect.
I just watched Bring It On recently. I love that movie. That's fantastic.
Right? Yeah,
and on point with like what I'm saying with the rewatch, perfectly rewatch.
Yeah.
Now I want to ask, as you are rewatching a lot of this stuff, or how much have you rewatched versus watched for the first time doing this?
Oh, Nat's probably almost entirely rewatching because she's more epic than me. I have a habit of, I think I've seen a lot of these movies and it turns out I have not, or it's been so long that I don't remember them. So
it's like the first time.
It's like the first time. The further we go, and obviously the further we go along, the more we're taking recommendations and things. But even for me, it's probably 80% I've seen them before and 20% new. But it like on this topic of rewatchability, it has been really interesting because it comes up a lot. Like off the top of my head, so we rewatched recently Multiplicity, which growing up was like a quotable, iconic movie for us. And it's still, there's a lot of it that is still really likable. But both of us rewatching
not in this
maybe
camp.
Not for now.
I rewatching it. I'm like, Katie, I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah,
I'm like 5 minutes in. I think I'm out. And she's like, no, but and I was like, I hate it. I hate everything about this. It was so bad. Oh,
it does. There's so many elements too that go into that, like what makes you rewatch or not, like what makes it rewatchable and not rewatchable. Because there's and this comes up a lot, like even as we're doing guest interviews and things, there are movies where like the actors have done such horrific things in real life that even if you love the movie, you're kind of like, oh, I don't feel good watching a Kevin Spacey movie, even though he's a great actor. There's a feeling, right? So there's like that, and then also like content, and then also like how well it ages. So there's a lot that can throw that off.
It's Usual Suspects, Kevin Spacey, half of the cast or most of the cast, we were like, wow, they're all terrible people, we now know, but the movie's still good.
Yeah.
And it was harder to watch because of that.
Mick, you're muted. You need to unmute yourself. I'm so sorry.
I coughed the whole time, and I'm like, like trying to keep it up to myself. And there you go. So now I'm on the podcast, being a fool.
That's all.
There's a private chat, right, Paul?
No,
if you check your messages,
Mick,
I got you.
Less
Check your
funny
messages, Mick.
though.
That's true. And I'll always go for funny. So good, Paul. I appreciate it.
I got you. That's what I'm here for.
No, I hope you're here for more. Rewatchability, though, and as I find as we're coming on and asking, are they less rewatchable today?
Mm-hmm.
I think we have our staples, which are always like universally we accept, like Jaws and The Godfather, and maybe Part 2, and things like that are upper echelon. Like we're gonna revisit those. They're the ones that just stand out. They're powerful films.
Yeah.
But we have seen a resurgence in the last 20 years of people coming back. Like I'm a little tired of so many people telling me certain cult classics are some of the best films.
You're like, are they though?
That's what I'm like. Listen, I like Return of the Living Dead as much as the next guy. And I can rewatch it a lot, but stop comparing it.
It is interesting though, because I probably have been guilty of saying that at certain points. Like there are movies in my personal rewatch list that I could watch hundreds, thousands of times, never be sick of. In my mind, like those are like incredible movies. And this even goes into like rating movies. Like we rate them at the end of every episode, and it's really hard to rate them because like we just rate on gut feeling. Like how much do we personally like it? But it is difficult like to find it. You're right. Like there are movies that are like icons and were forces in changing what cinema looks like and are on every top list, and they do live in a very different world than cult classics. But there's something about like a cult classic that I don't know, some of them do manage to sort of transcend time just for their like the grit of their followers who are unwilling to let them go.
It's completely true. I completely agree with that. And to your point earlier too, and Paul, I want to know what you think about this with societal changes, and we're seeing like more people being exposed, like Weinstein, stuff like that. I know for me, I try as much as possible to separate the art from the artist. Like I feel like once something's out in the world, it belongs to the world, not the artist. Like you can own the rights or whatever, but fine. But like that feeling we get from it is really what's true, right? Not whatever they were doing. With that being said, I don't know that I've seen a Kevin Spacey film since. So like
The Usual Suspects. Too many of them are bad. But the movie's still phenomenal. There's so many.
I'm bad with this though. This is the thing. Like, there are certain movies where I'm like, and everybody's like, this is phenomenal, and I'm like, was it though? And I can say like, hey, listen, like Fight Club, that's one. Mm-hmm. Everyone loved it. I was like, nah, it was okay. It was cool. It just seemed like a little too punkish, and I feel like that's what led to the allure. It was like the anti-authority, which I got and thought was fine, but in a twist, it was kind of cool. I just don't see why so many people are so drawn to that. And like Usual Suspects is definitely one of them. But Bryan Singer's movies usually do that to me. Not because he's a monster, because he's an asshole.
There are weird ones though. I did an interview, I guess it was earlier this week or late last week, and the movie topic was Howard the Duck. Oh. And I had never seen Howard. That was one of those ones I thought I had seen. I knew a lot about it, and I So I rewatched it or watched it for who knows. I watched it. I paid $4 for it on Amazon. It was really upsetting. And I watched this movie.
Oh no.
But that's a movie where I literally spent probably like a day doing research online because I could not wrap my mind around the fact that this movie is like officially the first Marvel movie. That blows my mind. And then second, it has a cult following. Like it's a cult classic. And I was like, why though? Like why? Like I love a lot of the people in and around it, but it's so bad. Like, and it's not like it's so bad it's good. It's just so bad, period. And I couldn't. So it is interesting. Like there are some movies where, you know, I don't know, like some movies that are just, in my opinion, bad and somehow seem to have an audience. And then there are movies like you were saying about Fight Club where, you know, there's like an audience that loves it and raves about it and it's winning, you know, all these different awards or acclaim. And then you as an individual could just not like them at all. Like I feel that way about Oscar, like the like true story Oscar winner movies where I'm just like, they're all right. They're well acted. They're well produced. Do I love them? Am I going to watch them a lot? Probably not. Like I'll see them once, appreciate it and move along versus like something that, I don't know, really catches you and kind of like you get wrapped up in and you get emotional about as you think about, or it just sort of defines a moment in time for you. For me, that's not those like super epic true story Oscar movies. Like those are just never check that box for me.
Not even Oscar movies are the same as they were in the day, like whether remember. Like I've seen all the best pictures and you know I try to watch them every year just see what's what, but I don't feel like anything's as memorable now as it was. Now and let's go that route real quick and go around and see what everybody thinks. You know, just more to my point, like, do we have any new future classics that you can really see like just digging into pop culture in the last 10 years, maybe I would say. But Paul, let's start with you.
Last 10 years.
10 years.
That's a big scope.
But 10 years.
I know, ladies, I don't know your ages, so I'm not going to assume with you, but Paul, you're younger than me. So like, I want your opinion on that. Like,
yeah,
because you were at a point where people were, you know, like kids were like going to theaters. Like I did that in the 90s. So like now that's why I can associate Fight Club. Like what would you associate now? Something like that.
So for me, if we're talking about like, we'll just talk about cult classics. Like for me, I think Late Night with the Devil is going to be a cult classic in the next coming years. Because as you know, I absolutely love that movie. And I think it's going to be one they talk about for years to come as a cult classic. I don't think it'll ever be just a classic film. And as for just memorable over the last 10 years, I mean, it's tough. I mean, you got Dune, Dune Part 2. But I think a lot of movies now just lack storyline. They don't have good storyline. They don't have the character build. They don't have the characters that stand out to you. Such as I just listened to you guys talk about Labyrinth. So you talk about David Bowie. If I think of David Bowie, I think of Labyrinth. Just like if I think Labyrinth, it's David Bowie. So you have a lot of these characters that are always going to stick out to you. And I feel like for a lot of roles now, you just don't think of people that way. You know, actors are just doing them like, not to bag on him, but like Ryan Reynolds, he's always playing Ryan Reynolds in every movie. And we've talked about it, you know, multiple times. So it's not like I'm like, oh, he's just Deadpool. I mean, he's most known for that, but I don't think of him as just Deadpool. So I think it's tough.
Oh no, he's just Deadpool. He's just Deadpool.
Okay,
you guys, it was a guy, a girl, and Deadpool in a pizza place. That's
it. That's all I love him from. I'm like, you guys are going to pizza place, obviously.
Van Wilder was Van Deadpool, the college age. Like that's all he is. He is just Ryan Reynolds.
And I even forgot he was in Van Wilder.
Yeah.
And I used to love that movie. And that's, you know, that's the sad part. You just kind of forget about a lot of these movies because they just don't stand the test of time, such as Labyrinth or a lot of the movies you guys that I've been watching from your previous episodes. A lot of those I kind of forgot about just because I'm just not constantly thinking about them. But I rewatched The Faculty. I rewatched Labyrinth. I rewatched Footloose.
Oh, you're on a roll. I love it.
Yeah. Oh no, you guys, you talked it up. You know, so I think a lot of it is societal to where who you surround yourself with. I think that's what determines what you're really watching. Because if someone's selling it to you and making it sound great, you're like, oh, I need to go watch that. So I think movie theater experience doesn't mean anything to a lot of people nowadays in the younger generation than me. It's just we go to the movies, period. That's it. It's not the magic. It's not once a month. You know, it's so affordable now that a lot of people go weeklies.
I was
just
just
people listening to the podcast. I'm not too sure affordable is the right word.
It depends on what you do.
I can afford gas more than I can afford to go to the movie theater.
I'll walk to the movies before I don't go to the movies. That's
Well done.
I can
well
walk to the movie theater and it's still cheaper.
done.
Yes, is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel
Maniac.
like in the last 10 years, there might be 10 movies that I could say they're going to talk about in 30 years from now. Past that,
Yeah.
it's just not going to stand up. You know, and I'd say 3 of those are going to be Jordan Peele's.
Yeah.
30 in 10 years? Do you realize how many movies have come out in the past 10 years?
Yes, and how many do people still talk about? Honestly, like I'm in movie groups, and I still can't. People are naming movies older than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They're not naming movies from 2010 on.
That
There's
is sad.
There's also been a really, really big shift over, and maybe it's been more than 10 years at this point, but a lot of the money is in TV now, and these like iconic, like epic mini series and shows that I mean, really have budgets larger than a ton of movies. And that's where all the big name actors are spending their time and making their money. So it's been sort of an interesting shift. And also, I think that there's so much content available. I don't know if this is your feeling, but it's like I have like 8 million streaming services and then my entire DVD collection. And then like my husband hates this about me as a person, but I'll waste 45 minutes being like, what do I want to watch? Like looking through. And then I always just end up back at like, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to default back to like my list of favorite movies, or like I've been just rewatching old TV shows that I really like because there's just nothing, everything looks the same. You're like, there's nothing that's really standing out as being different enough or unique enough that or everyone's talking about enough that kind of tips me over that. I mean, I guess Ted Lasso was probably the last thing that everyone was like, well, you have to watch Ted Lasso. I was like,
true.
all right, fine. But it's been, yeah, I think some of it's community and some of it's probably just the sheer amount of stuff that's available now just is like, you're like, I don't know. Like
targeted marketing. Too.
Lack of targeted marketing. Yeah. What do you do? Like, there's just so much.
It's like all the money goes into the budget of the film. None of it goes to marketing.
Yeah.
There's no more experience with watching a movie, I find.
Yeah. See, that's the funny thing to me too. A lot of people don't realize too, and you know, I'm talking more to the audience than talking to you guys, but like marketing isn't fixated into the budget. Not in a studio film. The budget makes the movie. They have their own department with their own budget to do the marketing for the films. They set that up. So like the studio may have to make the money back, but they're getting write-offs on all of that marketing. Because they own most of the publications. So it's really just a budget you should be fixated on when it comes to movies and stuff like that. Don't like, but I hear a lot of people go on and on about marketing. It's like, they're not, they're not, trust me, they're fine. So like, they're not worried about the marketing, but like every time I hear an argument, and this didn't come up here, but I did come up earlier, and I just wanted to point that out. Just like, stop worrying about the.
I have to say, one recent movie that did a ton of marketing was Barbie.
Like
Barbie. Everything was pink.
Good call on that.
Go get pink drinks. Your cell phone bill was suddenly pink. Like everything was Barbie pink last summer. That was marketing. And people were so like, oh my God, they're ramming it down our throats. I'm like, yeah, because we haven't seen marketing for something like this in forever. We're not used to it anymore. It was shocking. So.
If you notice too, there was no real marketing for Oppenheimer until Barbenheimer came out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Until they were like, "Oh shoot, we're losing."
Christopher Nolan was like, "Well, the girls are doing better than us," and then the Barbie fans were like, "Well, then just join us." And they're like, "Oh, that's a good idea."
Yeah. And then poor Tom Cruise is just sitting there for his new Mission Impossible. I rode a bike off a thing.
Even his supposed affairs didn't help sell it.
No.
Speaking of somebody who's the same character in every movie.
Yeah, there you go.
I have to say, there's 2 movies that I can think of, I'll say since like 2020, that stuck in my head. The movie Fresh with Sebastian Stan, phenomenal. The soundtrack was amazing. The casting was amazing. The plot was amazing. And partway through it, so one topic that Katie and I notice a lot in rewatching older movies is this whole age gap thing. Now we know Hollywood still today loves to cast a significantly younger woman with a ridiculously older man, and since the patriarchy's kind of crumbled, we're kind of like, we're over it. We don't want to see it anymore. Like, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you have your own problems. That's a you problem. Stop putting it on our screens. But in Fresh, I was like, why is she so much younger than him? And I was like, oh, because it would be categorically depressing to see the truth of the fact that it would totally work on like an age-appropriate woman.
We'd rather see the younger
You know?
one.
Fair,
So,
fair.
so it's like casting a younger woman in that role kind of made it more like fantastical and less horrific. So it made it more watchable, and I was like, that's clever. Like, bravo to the people that made that movie. And if you haven't seen it, great. Like, the soundtrack is amazing. The acting is deranged. It's so good.
The only thing I would say is I'll put a disclaimer on that for anybody who's listening who may not be into
It's scary.
Yeah, it's super scary and dark. Yes. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if
Don't
you
watch this if
don't
you
mind
don't
it.
like horror.
Trigger warning.
Yeah, we all know Sebastian Stan's got that cute smile, but don't go searching for him.
It's not a rom-com.
Also,
It's not-
in case you haven't noticed, when has Sebastian Stan not played a sociopath? Ever.
That's true.
Oh my God, I don't
Yeah.
know. I can't
He just
confirm
blew
nor
Mick's
deny
mind.
that.
Like, wait.
I can't think of it. I mean, no, he was Bucky, he became a sociopath.
Yeah.
I mean, he was brainwashed into being a mass murdering assassin for like a century, but still.
You know what makes this even funnier, in my opinion, is his next role is Donald Trump.
It just
And I'm
it
not
really
trying to
checks
make this
out.
political, but
really checks
But I mean,
hey, check a boxes here.
out.
is Stan still playing that? Like, Stan is typecast. What can I say?
I needed to look him up because I'm like, is he
Wait.
really always? And he is.
You really?
I don't know that I've seen all of his movies. I do enjoy his movies, but you have to be in a mood because they're going to be dark and twisty. Like,
Yeah, and he's not a killer and everything, but sociopath works.
Wait, wait.
I mean, sometimes a high functioning sociopath, sometimes just narcissistic. But yeah, it seems to be.
He seemed like a narcissist asshole in The Martian. I
Yeah.
don't remember his character in The Martian. Oh, he was one of the astronauts. Maybe he was an asshole. I don't know.
He left him. He left.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Well,
I've seen that movie.
sociopath.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my
I'm
God, I
saying
would have
he was
never
like,
thought
now
about
we're
it in that
going.
one. I realize that this is going off the rails, but I really need to see this
It's
right
our
now.
fault entirely.
No.
You guys started me on something here.
We're reworking this episode. The new topic is
Oh, he was in that terrible movie, The Covenant.
Okay, so that was filmed in Montreal, as
Oh my
a lot of films are. But what was fun about that movie, and I know Katie and I have seen it too many times, is
I don't
because one of
remember
our
that one.
yes, John Romaine was a dancer in it.
Oh, I do.
He
I do
made
remember
you
that one.
watch it.
Right. Yeah, I have seen that one.
There was like a beach party scene
Yeah.
where they're having like a bonfire on the beach, and like every
Oh, it's coming back.
professional dancer in Montreal was part of that movie.
Yeah.
So it's like we've seen it 100 times because a couple of our friends used to be like professional dancers and like
cool.
real,
That's
like actual dancing dancers.
Well, I didn't realize you were from Montreal. I have to kick you off the show now.
Dang.
I'm at war with Montreal since 2005. So
Why? What did
Well,
we
what?
do?
I mean, you were pretty rude at the border. I'm just
Oh, really? See,
Oh.
this has been my honest complaint as a dual citizen who has spent the last 20 plus years traveling back and forth between the border. Everyone is always like, Canadians are so nice, and I was like,
Polite, not
for
nice,
most of that time, a Canadian traveling back and forth, Canadians were way harder to deal with than Americans were like, come on in, have a wonderful trip. Canadians were like, we've got some questions.
they may be
I-
saying that to you.
Yeah.
I have beef with the guy at the New York crossing border, okay? Because
I don't blame you.
this old man who is like the only one in full, like, he looks like a Super Trooper guy, like from the movie. He's the only one that's dressed like that. He comes out, hand on his taser every time I went through the border. And I'm like, what is it? The green eyes and freckles? Like, Jesus.
You're
I
very
have
threatening,
a
Canadian.
quick Montreal story if you want to hear it.
Sure, go for it.
All right, I go up to Montreal once. I'm going to pick up a friend who's sick. I drove all the way up there. I lived in New Jersey at the time. I drove all the way up there. I'm miserable. It's snowing because it's July
It's
in
Montreal, yeah.
Canada, so of course it's snowing. No, I forget what it was, but he went up for a ski trip or something. I don't know. And I get to Montreal, the city, right? There is a city of Montreal,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
I'm not wrong.
No,
I'm
yeah,
not
but you've got to
great
go through like very creepy,
It's
super
a
rural
city.
Quebec to get there, though. So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
totally feel your yes. There
It
is a
took a long
city.
time, and then I
Yeah.
got there, and everyone was rude as soon as I saw him. So I'm like, "We're
Mm.
getting out of here." We driving back. I get to the border, and the guy's a dick, and I'm like, and he's like, "You have anything to declare?" I was like, "Yeah, Montreal sucks," and he's pissed after that. I was like, "I'm an American. Open the gate. I want to go in."
They're like,
We get in a fight. You can't get in this fight anymore.
No.
So we get in this fight. He lets me go. Finally, he's pissed off. They checked I was like, I don't have anything. I was here 10 minutes. Leave me alone.
Well, that's pretty suspicious. There's a lot of like the Quebec U.S. border has like, the Hells Angels cross it a lot. So you can infer from that.
Yeah. Look at me. This isn't a Hells Angel face. But I drove.
I don't know. I could see you if you had leathers on a bike. You're like a big guy. Like that's totally what they're looking
You'd
for.
be the enforcer.
Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
100% be the enforcer.
Yeah.
I've
We're
seen
going
Sons
in.
of Anarchy.
Let us
believe
into
in
Canada
you.
and then back out.
A 10-minute like hot run to the Canadian border sounds super suspicious.
My friend's sick.
Bikers and me and my
sure.
red shirt up behind one of them on their bikes.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, listen here, see, we're getting into Canada and we're getting out of here with maple syrup, see? And then we're running.
You think that's funny? There is a whole like underground maple syrup thing.
Which should be a movie. We've talked about so long that like it needs to be a movie. Ryan Reynolds is missing an opportunity here. He needs to take his Canadianism and make it into a movie.
A buddy heist movie starring Ryan Reynolds and maybe Ryan Gosling. But if you put the two Ryans together, maybe too much Canadian.
Maybe too much Canadian,
That's
but that could work.
That's a lot.
Maybe Chris Pratt and Ryan Reynolds.
No,
No, Chris Pratt.
No.
He was fun as Mario.
He was fun as Mario. I'll give him that.
I will say, I did get into New York like an hour, and then there was more Canadians there blocking off the road. And a guy comes up to my window and he's like, I don't know, he's something A, and then I don't know what it was after that. getting to my Canadian friends, and I know my buddy Phil Betters.
You were not driving through Quebec if they said A, because they
would not say
you.
One of them, he said A. The one at the border didn't say A. They were all French.
Yeah, I was gonna say they don't. No. Heavy French accents, lots of swearing.
He's
a lot.
He's like got his light on me, giving me like he's a New York cop, and I'm like, "You're a Canadian. I'm out of here." I'm like, open it up. I'm in America. What are you gonna do? He was getting so pissed. But that's my Montreal story. I do love Toronto, though.
Oh no! Don't say that. You're in the wrong company right now.
I know.
Fighting words, gloves off, man.
Yeah, exactly. We're out of here.
Drop
That's the last time they come on.
Yeah.
Damn it, Mick.
Do you have a be right back screen? You might need it soon here.
Katie's husband is a huge Bruins fan. To take this into a really Canadian place, being hockey. And I'm obviously, as Katie, a Montreal Canadiens fan. But when the Habs are out of the playoffs, we cheer for the Bruins, okay?
Yeah. Especially when the Bruins are playing Toronto.
Especially when they're playing Toronto.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, it was so close that I'm like, messaging Katie's husband, I'm like, if they don't beat the Leafs, I can't forgive you. I can't forgive the whole state of Massachusetts if you don't beat them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they did, we're like, happy like international Leafs losing the playoffs again day.
I will. At the risk of pissing off 3 or more people at this moment, I'm just going to say go Rangers.
That's all right.
No, boo! Get out of here, man. Bruins are playing right now too.
They are playing right now.
Doing, Paul?
I don't care.
I haven't looked at the score because I don't know how angry Dane will be when he gets home. But we'll just. I
didn't even want to look at the score.
I don't want to look at the score.
That's very fair. Hopefully they're doing well.
I do love a good New York team, but my team is the beloved Islanders, and the Phil Fraser can suck it.
Wow.
That's going all
like I'm at work with Montreal again. I don't know what's going on.
The Islanders are all heart, okay?
They're kind of like a cult classic, really.
Yes,
So,
there you go.
And now we're back, full circle. We're
And
back.
on that note, I knew I liked you, Katie. You brought it back full circle.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I want to say, ladies, this has been a lot of fun. Hopefully, you guys, if you had fun, you'll come back on again.
Absolutely.
This was a blast.
I won't take any more domestic, assault jokes at the beginning of it. That was poorly timed, Jordy.
We blame Jordy for
That's a
that.
good topic.
Jordy Berenstain. I'll dox him later.
So, to just randomly go back to topic, a good example from a movie that we covered on our podcast is The Goonies.
Oh yeah.
So, The Goonies
good. Thanks, Dan.
is very Yes. Sorry. The Goonies is very rewatchable, but it is also very dated. So you have to have that skill set to watch something in its time period. Like you have to watch it through a historical lens, and some movies are easier to, like a period piece, like the early 90s Pride and Prejudice, for instance, you can very easily rewatch because it's already a period piece. Goonies is set in the 80s, but it's so 80s that now it is a period piece.
Yeah,
right. You know, it's funny you mention that to kind of, for me, like Lost Boys is a rewatchable movie.
Oh God, I love Lost Boys.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Exactly. It's just such a fantastic movie. And I think the reason, like, I love Goonies too, and you're right, but I do think that Goonies, like my kids watch and they're like, oh, it's fun. But I feel like when they're older, it's not going to be returned to like it was for us.
Yeah.
And I think that's because it speaks to us, like you were saying.
It's not of their generation. It's of our generation. Like we grew up like that. Yeah, same with my kids, like will watch it and think it's really fun. I was horrified at the first couple of minutes of it. I would talk about it on the podcast. I still I was just like, wow, all right, we're just gonna talk about sex and drugs and my 9-year-old misses nothing. She is the opposite of me in watching.
And they're not like we were.
Yeah, she's like, I have a lot of questions. I've taken notes.
I go back and watch Ghostbusters now, and I'm like, I don't know if kids can watch this.
First of all, they can't. Second of all, Bill Murray, who plays a college professor, would not only be fired, but like under review for possible like criminal charges for sleeping with his students so openly. Like that.
And meanwhile,
they also imply a very heavily sexual scene.
Oh yeah,
with a ghost. Like it's insane.
And meanwhile, the 80s and 90s were just like, PG maybe.
Yeah.
No. We had plenty where we'd watch it, and I feel like we were just, I don't know if like us I don't know if you guys were latchkey kids. I was. Yeah. Latchkey kids, we just were oblivious to that stuff. We just wanted to laugh, probably because life was just covered in smoke everywhere, but we just wanted to laugh. So I feel like we let like the jokes we didn't understand go and just latched onto the more juvenile stuff.
Yeah. Well, and
parents, tell you kids don't do that anymore. The horrors have been shown, and they see everything.
I feel like, maybe not. I was gonna say, I feel like parents, they were like movies that you watched with your family, like there were like family movies, and then there were the movies that you watched with all of your friends. Like my parents had no idea the movies. Like it was like a whole bunch of us in a basement at someone's house watching like 55 movies back to back for like an epic sleepover, and my parents had no clue what those were.
Oh God, no!
Like. Pretty sure watching Halloween 5 with a bunch of 11-year-olds at a sleepover was a bad idea, considering most of them had to go home at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
My dad's like, what movie did you watch? I'm like, Halloween 5. He's like, did you like him? Like, yeah, it was awesome. My dad's like, but like every other kid had to go home because they were like too scared to sleep.
Yeah. I want to ask this, like, because as we're coming closer to closing out the show, and I definitely want you guys to come back on the show and have fun and hang out and talk movies. I had such a great time. I'm looking forward to your next 3 shows. Doing Clueless next, so you need to go and check that out over on their channel. Everything's linked below in the description.
Thank you.
But why don't we go around real quick? I'm going to start with you ladies, and I want to hear what you have to say. What is a movie from the 80s or 90s you saw as a kid that was just way too adult for you? And you didn't realize it when you were a kid?
Take your pick.
Nat is probably way worse than this. I'm
going to start with the 70s. We're going
to don't go to 70s. That was a dark period. We'd stay away from the 70s.
The little girl who lives down the lane.
Oh my God.
I was like, okay. Now I know what molestation is. And
well, if you're going 70s, that whole decade was just horrifying.
Let's just say, still to this day, I will not eat almond flavored anything.
She really won't.
There. Oh my God. That is a deep cut.
Hey, Jodie Foster classic. It's actually an amazing movie. And nowadays, as an adult, I'm like, you go, Jodie. You murder all of those rapey men in your life. But
that was like the theme of the 70s, and it's weird.
Yeah, it really was.
I took a journey back, and I wanted to put this out on a show for anybody who's a movie fan. If you loved going in the video store and like perusing, the aisles, I found it very similar to being on Letterboxd and just going year by year.
I just signed up for Letterboxd. I'm so excited to get into it. Yeah, I had never heard of it before. I don't know if I told you that, but I signed up for it. Yeah, no, I think you can get access to it. It's not it's like a website.
There's a free access to it. But if you guys join up, please connect. Let's see what movies we're watching.
Yeah,
I love it. So guys, if you really want that like feeling, I would peruse Letterboxd by year and just look at the covers. It's just there's something about it. And I just keep adding what I've seen. So like I just go through but I got to the 70s. It wasn't good. There was never a decade that I want. And shockingly, I saw a very small amount of movies compared to what came out in the 70s.
Yeah.
It was rough. But Katie, how about you? What's a movie that maybe you saw that was
well, the one that comes to mind comes with a brief stories. I know we're short on time, but
no, take your time.
So my we used to do. I'm old enough that we did multiple movie trips to Blockbuster or other video stores. That was like our weekend thing. And my dad was the like all together family guy. Like we're gonna go all together, and you can rent any movie that like is appropriate to your age, right? So it was always like, well, you're 13 and older, so now you can rent PG-13 movies. So you can't, and we would watch movies, but he would like fast forward things that were inappropriate. And so Cruel Intentions came out, and I was like, all of my friends had seen Cruel Intentions, and wanted in theaters, like all my friends, and my dad was like, no, we're not going to do this, whatever. And so I went to one of my our mutual friends whose parents were never home. We went over there, we watched Cruel Intentions, and I'm like the follow the rules person, so this was like a big deal for me. And then I got back home, and my dad was like, you know what, I felt really bad about it, so I rented Cruel Intentions, and we can watch it together, like just so I can fast forward like anything that's inappropriate. And I had just seen it the night before, and I was like, I couldn't say I really don't want to watch this with you. It's so sexual and it's going to be super awkward. Couldn't say that at all. So I was just like, great, let's watch Cruel Intentions. And it was the most awkward, like 2 hour, or however long the runtime is of that. But I just sat there in like deathly silence as my dad, like trying to be cool dad, and me being like, I really shouldn't have done this. It was just horrifying. So that was probably my like most visceral memory of a movie situation that just went horribly wrong. I won and lost at the same time with that one.
Yeah, but that's a good story, and that's a great movie to have that story with. So,
God bless.
Paul, how about you, bud? What's a movie you saw too young that
man?
Don't name anything adult. I want like real, like it was a movie that came out, was on TV or something. You're like, what is going on here?
So I actually got two movies. They came out around the same time. So The Matrix, for one, I just didn't understand the complexities of the movie The Matrix at the time, so I watched it just oblivious. I just saw people hitting each other, so I'd say I was too young for that because I just didn't understand anything else that it was actually about. And then also Blair Witch Project.
Oh yeah,
because I saw that about 8 or 9 years old at a friend's house, next door neighbor's house, and terrified me. But I'm weird when I'm terrified.
I didn't say it's a terrifying movie. I said something that makes you feel crazy and weird. Mine was Society.
But I still went into the woods. Like
I was Society when I was 9. Okay,
I was like, let's find this Blair Witch. Like, she's in North Carolina.
I saw Society when I was 9. That's sort of my thing. I just So I saw Society when I was 9 by myself. It was on HBO, and I'm like, oh, cool, horror movie. I'm not supposed to be watching this, but whatever.
Why not?
Nobody should know what the shunting is. Maybe at least not until you're 35. You know that. That's all I'm gonna say. I was scarred. And then The Honest Accomplice.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's true. I did see that one as a kid, but I didn't get it.
I didn't see that one until
I was too little. I was like,
this is weird. It's like, aren't they brother and sister? Luke?
I'm like, I guess not.
Yes, yeah.
on Earth. Okay, I don't know what. All right, I'm having fun. We're getting absurd, but I do want to say thank you, ladies. We're gonna let you go. Then we're gonna outro our show. But you guys are amazing.
Oh, thank you. Right back at you.
So much fun.
All right. Well, as soon as we're done doing our girls' slumber party run, you'll have to find time for you guys to come on. You'll have to pick your favorite movie and come join us. It has to be 80s, 90s, or today. So we have some wiggle room.
I'm not picking my favorite. Well, my favorite's Back to the Future, but I'm not picking my favorite.
We haven't done Back to the Future yet. Yeah.
That's my favorite movie. time.
There we go. All
We
right.
do love Marty McFly.
Something that maybe you've seen before.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna. Well, I have to ask you. I'm gonna pick your brains on it and see
All
what
right.
I
All
can.
right.
But I would love to, and I appreciate that. And
Of course.
everyone out there should go follow and be a part of
Thank you.
VHS Club Podcast.
Yes.
The club itself, of course.
Yes.
Go
We're
follow.
very exclusive. Welcome
Come
to
be
the
a
club.
tater.
I love it. It's a really fun show. As you can see, it's just a good time, and you're gonna find
Yes.
yourself arguing with them, even though they can't hear you and you're not a part of it.
We hear you.
Unless
We
you're-
hear you every time.
Just like agreeing. It's like, yeah, it really was. I didn't know that. like you guys don't even have that. Like, it's just fun.
Yeah.
And that's what we
Yeah.
needed. So thank you so much, Katie
Thank
Nat.
you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. We'll have you back, soon, very soon. We want to get you back on
Sure.
talk.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. And we're going to let you go. And until next time, make sure you go check out the VHS Club Podcast right now.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
It was a lot of fun. I had a really good
Yeah,
night.
it
Like,
was fun.
one of the most fun I've had on a show in a long time. Like, just never
Yeah.
anybody to talk to.
Yeah, they're very easy to
No, I was
talk to.
kidding. I'm kidding.
But they trip you. Yeah.
Kidding.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I saw the stab. I feel it. I'm bleeding. It's fine.
I love
It's
it.
fine.
I love it.
You didn't ask me about my border adventures. I know why. No.
Yeah, I know why, because you can't spam on the air. You don't want to be in trouble, maniac.
I'm excited
guys,
to have them back though. Because
if you like our merch, go check it out. We have this and plenty of other designs. That's the
Yes.
QR code right there. Go check it out. I do want to say thank you all. We're going to get into our review in just a second. I want to say thank you all for jumping on, hanging out with us, especially if you came over from the VHS Club Podcast. Thank you. And thank you to them for being on the show. It truly was a really fun time. I love talking movies with really fun people. So
yes.
we are going to review our next two movies this week. Before we get there, I want to thank our sponsor of this video. Thank you so much, Shopify. You're the best. We love you. If you want to start your e-commerce business, head on over to Shopify. We have our affiliate link down below. You can go check them out. We have all our affiliate links down below if that's what you're looking for, but go check them out. Also, make sure to check out our Patreon. We would love for you to check out our Patreon. That's the QR code for that one. If you join up, there's a free tier. You can just follow. After CFF, we will be using our Patreon as our newsletter. So if you join up there, we're going to have all the shows are going to be posted there. All the we have blogs that are going to be coming out, which will be up on the site too, but that will serve it. And we're going to have cartoons coming out, stuff like animated stuff, not animated, like drawings, like stuff like that, like special like cartoons, like the funny pages. So we're going to be doing stuff like that. We're going to make it really fun. Plus, there's tiers available. And that helps support the show. It all goes back into helping us build out and do the best we can with our shows and everything that goes into it. And we just truly appreciate you supporting us now. And you can do that, but also make sure you join the Discord. You can just join up, hang out, have fun, be a part of it, join the conversation. It's all there. I'm going to leave that up for now, but let's get into our reviews, shall we?
Yes.
Dude,
Yes, we shall.
Abigail and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's start with Abigail. I think I have a lot more to say about Kingdom. So let's start with Abigail. Yeah, I like Abigail, but Abigail's it's not like defying the feats of storytelling. Like, it's just fun.
Right.
It's a fun movie.
Yes.
So Abigail is a story about a group of kidnappers, I guess, but they're a band of criminals that are getting together. They're professionals to kidnap a little girl. They kidnap her, bring her to this mansion where they're hiding her out. And the whole thing is they have to stay with her for 24 hours until the ransom comes. Things go haywire. Turns out that the house is locked down and they're becoming food for Abigail because she is a vampire. And that got interesting. And there's a few twists and turns along the way. Nothing too bad, nothing too major. It was good acting. I like the performances. I like the story. The gore was fine. The action was good. The comedy was funny. Some of the characters were very cartoonish and a little over the top sometimes, so I didn't love that, but I didn't mind seeing them. I liked it. So overall, for me, I did like this film, and I probably would watch it again if it was on TV. This isn't one that I'm ever going to just turn on again. Now, with that being said, I'd love to hear what you think.
So I went in with very low expectations. I thought it was just going to be kind of a crappy horror movie at best. Turned out to be more of a comedy with some horror elements for me personally. So I actually kind of enjoyed the ride. Like you said, there's nothing absolutely mind-blowing. There's nothing super, super unique with it. The premise is exactly as you said. They're just holding a girl for ransom. Turns out to be a vampire. She's eating them. It's the comedy scenes are very predictable, but the jokes do hit fairly well.
Yeah.
The twist I thought was pretty good, but I actually enjoyed it. And kind of like you, like if I walked in on someone watching it or just happened to be on TV or something, I probably would absolutely sit back down, but I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it again. But,
yeah. Like I said, if it's on TV, it might be fun enough to watch. Dan Stevens is really good in it. He played the cop, the ex-cop who's now a criminal. They added like some fun little backstories to the characters that they wanted to highlight. Of course, Sabrina Carpenter and him. Is it Sabrina Carpenter is her name?
I think so.
She was in the Scream movies, the more recent one. She's the one that got fired from the Scream movies for speaking out. And again, I'm not saying she was wrong or anything. I'm just saying that's why she got fired. I'm stating fact. I'm not stating any other thing. So yeah, with this movie, it was just rewatch. Let's get to our ratings of it. I gave it a 3. You gave it a 3. It's above average. Right. It to me, I feel like this is one of those formulaic studio produced horror movies. It's lower budget that you can put out. It's probably going to make some good money. Every studio has them. Universal is usually the biggest one with them, and they usually make the better. Especially because Blumhouse stepped in and others. So those are considered the low budget. This is one that has the tropes, has the conventions, really works, and they did it well. Not great, but they did it well. So I say go check it out. Maybe not in theaters, but check it out.
It's definitely a watch at home, in my opinion. Stream at home.
Yeah. So something like that. You want to? I don't know. Like something like that. Do you think streaming is the only way for this?
I feel like if you have like a bigger setup. So like for me, this will probably be one that's going to be an outdoor movie night type ordeal because I'm sure someone's going to be like, "Hey, I haven't seen Abigail. Point. Can I watch?"
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to say that was a great point. I didn't think about it from that point of view. I like that though. This is the type of horror movie that's just fun to watch because you don't have to be married to watching it the whole time. You can.
Nope.
I like
good
that.
Things. S'mores, all that.
We should do that. We should do a rating for each movie. Like we do our ratings, but we should do would you see that? Would you go to the theater to see this, or would you chill, or would you watch this on I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, cinema couch or outdoor projector.
Outdoor, we're just throwing it out there like everybody has one. All right, let's get to our next movie, which is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which may be the final in this prequel series, but we don't know. It did seem to do really well, so that's not a spoiler. Nothing's been announced, and the way these movies are going now, I don't think you have to stick with any one character. You can kind of travel around and do it as sort of an anthology, because the first 3, which was Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and War of the Planet of the Apes, followed Caesar. Caesar was the ape that had an immunity, and his blood was being tested to make this Alzheimer's medication, which backfires on humanity and actually kind of dumbs down humanity while making apes smarter. And then we follow as the apes are trying to live in the battles between humanity and stuff like that, and Caesar leading them, trying to bring a better life that is better for the apes, and so the humans can exist too. He doesn't hate humans. That was a great trilogy. That was a fantastic trilogy done. Go check that out. And it's all prequel leading up to the Planet of the Apes movie from 1968, which we just covered on Classic Film Review. So if you want more about that, go check that out. But this one is set 300 years into the future after the last movie, which was Caesar's final movie. The thing I liked about this movie that really added to it was Caesar's still very much a part of it. This is his legacy. 300 years later, and we're finding out who was Caesar to the apes and how that grew. Noah is the ape that is leading the pack in this. He's going up against Proximus Caesar, which is a ruler of an ape clan, and he enslaves other apes, ape clans, things like that, and humans. He is trying to get into an old missile silo, which was converted into a vault, after everything happened. And he has taken a young woman, May, who is intelligent and can speak, and is very different from the humans they've encountered before. And the apes, Noah takes her in to kind of protect her from Proximus, who's trying to use her to get in the vault and stuff. Overall, that's what the movie is about. I like this movie a lot. I thought it was really well done. I don't need any more. I think this is a perfect bridged gap between the Caesar years and what we're going to get in Planet of the Apes when George Taylor comes. And even though that takes place farther down the line in the future, in the Apes' future, I think it's a beautiful bridge that kind of shows you how we got from here, where humans were really, available, to, where we're going. That's how I feel. I'd love to hear how you feel, Paul.
So I think, because I've seen all the Planet of the Apes at this point, I would love for this to be a swan song, if you will, because I do think it's a beautiful goodbye.
Yeah.
I thought they did this one right as far as a bridge movie. It's one that all ages can enjoy because you can pick up stuff. So me, I'm 32 right now. Just seeing how Noah feels, just the relationship with his dad. He's still trying to live up to his dad, make his dad proud, things like that.
Yeah.
I could connect to that still. So I think they did a real good job, when we're talking about movies being memorable, emotionally connect. I emotionally connected to Noah real quick because, that's how you want to, for me, that's how I wanted to be. So, I really felt for Noah, like, you're trying to do this, but you kind of want to be your own person. But now you're having all this responsibility kind of thrown at you at once because, certain scenarios happen in this movie. I'm not trying to give spoilers. So it was tough, but I thought it was very, interesting and believable as far as if apes were to talk. I thought they did great in how they're moving around. I thought their personalities were great. The dialogue was so much fun. I thought it was very unique how they had different variations of how people saw Caesar, because you had certain apes saying, this is the way of Caesar, and then some saying in the name of Caesar, and they were two conflicting things, which is, that's just
to the religious parallels, especially
Yes.
Christianity, and to say, like, it really, like, you can have a message and it can be misconstrued all the way through.
Yes.
100%. To other people's interpretation. So that's a great point. I'm glad you pointed that out. Thank you.
Mhm.
I really did. I did enjoy this movie. The one thing I didn't enjoy were there were more unbelievable aspects, were the human elements.
Yes.
And I hate to give up any spoilers. It's going to be mild spoilers here. So if you don't want to hear them, please. But, like, it's not me trying to give away plot points, but they may get sort of thrown out. And the only thing I want to say to kind of allude it is, I live in a time where there are missile silos.
Right.
If you asked me to break into a missile silo and figure out how to get anything, even if you told me exactly what I was supposed to do, I don't know that I'd figure that out.
No.
So
Right.
I don't, and I would say I'm maybe average smarts, maybe a little above average, but maybe at most average.
Right.
And I'd have a hard time figuring that out. A person who is 300 years or more by this point detached from that, I don't care how much. First of all, why are the humans so smart? Why are certain so smart? And I don't want that answer. You gave me that in the last one.
Right.
And if you want to have hidden smart people, I don't have a problem with that. But the fact that they know how to do so much.
Right.
It's like they were talking, people can't read. People can't, like, talk to each other. Like, there are people who can't talk, and they need this to teach people how to talk. And I get how it plays out. And that was realistic in a sense.
Right.
But the fact that they can, and they can do it at such an accelerated rate where they're able to run things and pull in power and start satellites.
Yeah.
Paul, if you gave me an instruction manual on how to break into a missile silo, exactly where to go to get the card to start the satellites, I'd look at you like you have the wrong guy.
Right. I'm not the guy.
I'm not the right person for this operation. You need to find someone else. Preferably someone who is way more into that life.
Right.
Somebody who worked there, not me. And not a 16-year-old girl in 300 years. It's not going to happen when everything's been off.
Yeah. And she walked directly in. She's like, hold on, stay here. I'm gonna go do this real quick. Just knew exactly
how does she know how to turn the lights on? All right, so that was my biggest gripe with the movie. But I did really like the movie overall, and she's such a small part of it. That whole thing is such a small part of it. She's in it a lot, and she's not a bad character. Those were just attributes that I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like I don't know, whatever. My rating for this was 4. Might go down one. No, it's no. I really like the movie. It is a 4. I think people should go check it out, especially go see it in theaters. If you've seen the others, it's beautiful visual effects. All the visual effects are perfect. The fur on the apes looks real. They always have. The cast did a great job. Like it just really was all around great. So mine's a 4. Paul's a 3.5. I do have one more review I have to do, and this was sent to me by a young filmmaker. I don't want to say young, She looks much younger than I am in the movie because she's in the movie as well. So I realize I'm over talking this already. So when I say young, it's just because I'm old. I want to make sure I say it right. It's Morgan Millam, and she has made a movie called Martian Girl Massacre, and it's a short horror film. She sent it to me. I'm sorry, Paul, I didn't have it sent over. I can't share it. It was a link.
That's fair.
So I couldn't share it with you at the time and when I got it, but I will try and get you one so you can see it as well. Okay. But I did want to rate it for so with this, let me just put my rating up. It is about a group of I want to say teenagers, but they might just be a little bit older than that. Just sort of renting a house and hanging out, and then they one discovers a Martian, and I really enjoyed the Martian's look in this. Okay. I thought it was cool. There's a lot of tentacles. I'm not so much into the tentacle stuff, but not that I didn't like it. I was like, this is kind of cool. It was really well done. It's a cool little it's a slasher film, but it has the alien twist to it. It has some cool effects to it. I loved the Martian in it. She did a really good job. For a short film too, you told a good story all the way through. I gave you 2.5 stars out of 5. That's really well done. Usually when I see horror shorts, not that they're bad or anything, I've seen a lot of great ones, especially doing Carolina Fear Fest Film Festival. This is one that I did enjoy. I walked away from this. I was like, the acting was fun. Everybody had a good time. Like, you could tell it was like a really fun shoot. And I love the look of the Martian that they did. I just thought it was really cool. Trevor slasher E.T. hentai. That's basically what it was. But that is my rating for it. Thank you, Morgan, for sending it in. And appreciate you. Keep going. I love it. And my mixed movie pick of the year, 1958. If you haven't guessed it, it's Touch of Evil, directed by Orson Welles and starring Orson Welles and Charlton Heston. Of course, Charlton Heston was in Planet of the Apes, which is a connection to last week's classic film review. And tomorrow on the YouTube channel, you'll get to see 1958's Touch of Evil. That will also be on the channel. Love you guys. Appreciate you being a part of it. Appreciate you being here, hanging out with us, having a good old time. We love movies, and we know you do too. So join the Snob Nation. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit that bell. Make sure you join up on the Patreon. Like I said, we got the free tier, or if you want to take a tier to help support the channel, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. And there's perks available, so go check them out. But also, join up on the Discord, hang out, just be a part of the Snob Nation. Let's talk movies, have a good time, and treat it like we did tonight, where we have fun. We're not offended. We're just here to enjoy and love the movies that we love and hate the movies that we hate. But no, I kid, of course. But before I go, I want to ask Paul, do you have anything to say, my friend?
Hey, keep watching, you guys, keep listening, and keep loving the magic of movies. And I hope you guys have a good week.
That I love that. That's even better. That should be your catchphrase. Keep loving the magic of movies. That's it. It's gonna stick. It should stick. I think that's great. All right, guys. Next week we'll be back with an all new episode. Make sure to check us out live 7 p.m. Eastern. But tomorrow, Horror with Sir Sturdy podcast. No, he's not on tomorrow. He's on. He is on tomorrow. Thursday. I mean, Horror. I don't give a shit. Horror Conversation 7 p.m. We are gearing up. Carolina Fear Fest is next weekend. But before we get there, you guys need to be here on Friday, because we are doing our Casters for a Cause charity script read. We're all going to be a part of it. The crew's coming back together. It's for a great cause. Hunters Against Hate, sponsored by Carolina Fear Fest. We're reading Scream, but we're doing it with a twist. It's going to be a great time. Check it out on the Scene Snobs, and all of our affiliates. Everybody who hangs out with us is going to be there, and they'll be sharing it on their channels as well. So, but make sure you watch, donate. The link is down below. We appreciate you guys. Thank you, Paul, for your wonderful words. You're amazing and being a great partner. Thank you to the VHS Club Podcast. Katie and Nat, you guys are awesome. And thank you to all of you. Everybody who watched, everybody's part of it. Everybody's listening later. We truly appreciate you guys. Are great. And I know I'm saying this quite a bit and it's losing. Oh, it's meaning. No, it's really not. But remember, keep joining us. We got Carolina Fear Fest coming up next week and a lot of other fun stuff going on too. So we can't wait. And remember our tribute to Roger Corman. That's coming out Thursday. Until next time. I'm Mick Manhattan. Remember to be kind, stay classy, and take care of yourselves, because that's important. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.